The Gospel of John, more than the others, have a lot of symbolism in it, and I would like to focus on that last part of the Gospel, where Lazarus came out and still needed to be untied of the bindings. We are bound by our sins, our failings, our weaknesses. They limit our freedom. Having a big bowl of ice cream at 9 p.m. in the evening is not good. It's harmful. And when I do it, I might dig in and notice that the ice cream is getting a little old and a little gummy around the edges. So I spent 4 nights in a row working on that ice cream. And it's guaranteed for me, who generally does not have a hankering for ice cream, on that 5th night, it's guaranteed I will want ice cream when I know it's not in the house. In America, freedom means if I want ice cream, I will have ice cream. But true freedom is the ability to say no to ice cream during certain moments, times when we know it isn't good for us. There are other vices, these root problems in us, other than gluttony. So there's also pride and jealousy and envy and anger and lust and sloth, also called laziness. These are things that tie us up. We are bound, and Christ wants us to be set free. But before he can do this completely, he needs our cooperation. We have to make a step. And we see in the gospel today, Jesus raises Lazarus, and he wants him to experience true freedom from the bindings. And we hear this passage in which he says, Lazarus, come out. Could you imagine if Lazarus, the burial cloth over his face says, I don't wanna. I'm stiff all over, and let me just say that the people who wrapped me up did a good job. If I come out in the light, my eyes are going to hurt. I smell bad. That doesn't make any sense. When Christ wants him to be set free, but he does not want it. We can be held back in times when we really don't want to let go of our overindulgence of television over a number of hours. Or the grudge we've been harboring, or our rather aggressive style of driving and impatience with the world, or our lackadaisical attitude toward weekly Mass, especially on vacations, or our fears that are tied with going to confession during Lent. There are things that we're afraid to be set free. Christ is inviting us to greater freedom, and sometimes we just say, but I don't want to. For example, that challenge of being invited to make a good confession. And Christ, just as he does in the gospel, he doesn't untie the bands. He wants others to partake and help Lazarus. And so we know, we don't have time to talk about it, but we know that Christ has given priests, bishops, the authority to absolve. And so we can be set free. But a lot of times our own fears paralyze us. We can say that I don't know if I can remember everything. I don't know if I really want to try. And I've never felt comfortable going to confession. And I'm really not that bad a person. And sometimes just the simple thing of like, I don't remember how to do it, makes us say, I don't want to. Christ has come to give life and life to the full. Christ wants to expand our freedom, loosen the bonds, and we need to come out. This Wednesday, we're going to have a penance service at 7 o'clock. There also are confessions at Cathedral on Monday of Holy Week. And if a person can't remember how to go to confession, just say that to the priest. I'm going to need help, Father. The priest is happy to help. And about naming our sins, there's a seal of confession that literally the priest is excommunicated if he were to reveal. Priests honor this. And if you're concerned about your reputation, I know it's very humbling to hear confessions, and it's more of a witness of someone's humility and courage and faith and contrition. That's what we see more than anything else. And if you come to the penance service, it's simply, we'll say the act of contrition as a group. And you can pick a priest that you haven't seen your whole life. And naming sins is not that difficult in terms of whether it's been since last Lent or 8 to 10 years or not since I've been a teenager. It can be as simple as saying, well, sometimes I miss Mass and I can be kind of harsh to my wife and kids sometimes. I use vulgar words, and I guess not so much anymore, but back when I was in my 20s and 30s, on a weekly basis, I used to use alcohol, and my church attendance was really crummy back then. And please forgive these sins and the other sins since my last confession. It can be simple. And here's my invitation. Wednesday night, people of God, come out! And let us resist the temptation of saying, but I don't want to. Because the invitation is ultimately for greater freedom.